And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Monday, August 23rd edition. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was a fun one. Warm, good weather. Hopefully, you're not in the Northeast. That's a little nasty up there. Lots of fun baseball. Miggy got to 500 finally. Got some great pitching. We got our boy Carlos Hernandez and Wayno getting it done. If you're in the Slack chat, we were having some fun in there doing DFS stuff. The NASCAR thing's popping off in there. We got some great contributors in there as well, helping things out now. And also, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is popping off. Big day on Sunday in the Slack chat. And if you're new to Prize Picks, it's basically DFS meets prop bets. Tons of over-under action. You can mix sports. You don't have to do them all together. It's at least 2 picks, up to 5 picks. Tons and tons of fun. And if you use a promo code Bubba when you create your account, you get a first-time deposit bonus up to $100. So I recommend go checking out PrizePicks.com, getting the goods there. If you give a rate and review to MLB DFS Quick Hits on iTunes, I truly appreciate it. And for you season-long fantasy baseball players, go check out Benched with Bubba. Give a rate and review there, too. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays usually with Toby, Batflip Crazy, recapping the week in Fab and much more. And then Thursdays, always a special guest. So lots of fun stuff there. This past week, we had Mr. UT streamer himself, Josh St. Louis. So come check that one out and get out St. Marie. So come check all that good stuff out. But we got 6 games. It's going to be a quick one. 6 games on a Monday. It's kind of nice to ease into the week with a nice, easy slate. There's a couple day games of action, but 6 main games, nothing too crazy. I got 4 totals for you guys so far. White Sox, Blue Jays, total of 9. Rockies, Cubs, Wrigley Field. So no totals. I actually got 3. Royals, Astros, 9. Mariners, A's, 8.5. So a couple of 9s, waiting on a lot more. Pitching-wise, it's kind of nasty. I'm going to be honest with you. The highest-priced guy is Jordan Montgomery. He was supposed to be Luis Gil pitching for the New York Yankees, and they switched it to Montgomery about an hour or so ago, which is quite surprising. So you got Jomo at 10K, not paying it versus Atlanta. Jomo's been good. I get it. That Atlanta offense is fierce. They're only striking out 18% of the time in the month of August against left-handed pitching. And I'm just not – if I'm paying 10K for Jomo, I need those strikeouts. I need that 20-plus point effort. I think what Jomo can possibly produce if he's on, I can get elsewhere. Now, Lance Lynn at 99 is intriguing. He got tossed last game out by throwing his belt to the umpire to check as he's getting sick and tired of getting checked for sticky stuff, because the big man don't use sticky stuff, guys. It's very simple, and he just makes me like him more and more, just the goofy stuff he does. He's an absolute beast out there. I think he makes for a good GPP play. A couple of reasons. Most people always love to stack Toronto. Makes total sense. So you don't want to use the pitcher against Toronto. It's usually the law of how things work here. But Toronto's offense over the weekend against Detroit scuffling a lot. And over the last week or so, it's been quieted down a bit. The loss of George Springer, I don't know if it was the catalyst or what it was, it slowed that offense down a bit. And then I'm not worried they're going to get going. And they don't strike out a ton, 19% against righties in the month of August. Now, if you probably looked that back here the last week or so, let's have some fun with it. Let's just say today's the 23rd. Let's just go last Monday the 16th. Let's just go there and see where Toronto sits. Basically a week without Springer. Again, not striking out 16% of the time, even less. So not a big strikeout team versus right-handed pitching. So that is a concern for Lance Lynn. But what Lance Lynn does in a small slate, just raw points is important. He'll give you innings unless he gets blown up, which if he gets blown up, doesn't even matter. He's going to give you innings. He will get you a few strikeouts. Ratio should be intact. So Lynn at $9,900, potentially at super low ownership on this slate, is quite intriguing to me. Now, if we're in the Slack chat and it's like an hour to lock on Monday and we see Lance Lynn's going to be chalky, well, I'm not going to be on Lance Lynn. I'll probably get a Toronto stack in there because you're going to play cheap pitching tonight. You're going to be able to get bats. So Lynn at 99 is very intriguing, though. I will say that much. Alek Manoah on the flip side, intriguing as well against the Chicago White Sox. Another team people like to stack, but at least on the Chicago side of it, they're striking out nearly 25% of the time in the month of August. We know what Manoah does, tons and tons of strikeouts. That's what he does. As long as he keeps that ball in the ballpark, we are good to go. But he's a strikeout machine, usually goes 5+ innings. He got beat up against the Nats his last time out. He's young. That'll happen. Previous three starts before the Nats start, 5 innings or more, 2 runs or less. Got you 15+ DK points, 26 or more in 2 of 3. So Manoah is another interesting tournament play at 85. Him and Lance Lynn, 2 really solid pitchers going up against 2 really solid offenses makes for nice, cheap plays, especially on a 6-game slate. If you want to be different, one of these guys comes in at lower ownership and pops off. It's tremendous. And it's not like we're taking a five, like we're not taking Antonio Sensatella at 5,600 or whatever he is and hoping he pops off. We're taking legit, like Lance Lynn is the favorite. If you look at the odds books, whatever one you want to use, Lance Lynn is the favorite to be AL Cy Young. So we're not taking a scrub out there. Could Lance Lynn get destroyed? Yeah, it's the Toronto freaking Blue Jays. Like that's definitely, especially in Toronto. These are all very popular things. But I think Lynn and Manoah make for interesting tournament plays. Definite risk though. Huascar Yanoa at $8,300. I am loving this play. Coming off his first start off the IL, 5 1/3, 3 hits, no run, 4 Ks, 80 pitches. Should get you to 90 to 95 this go around. But still put up almost 18 points last time. And now you get a Yankees offense that appears to be heating up. Still not world beaters by any means. Striking out over 24% of the time in the month of August, hitting 251, 114 WRC plus. Like they have tons of power for sure, but tons of swing and miss. A lot of swing and miss, especially when you look at the bottom half of that lineup. Lots and lots of swing and miss. So Huascar Yanoa at 83, I like that as a big time tournament play. I think the 15 to 20 plus point ceiling, it all depends on how far he goes. I think he goes closer to the 90 to 95 range this go around because they want to keep ramping him up for the postseason. I think it's a big start for Yanoa. And if he can give us 90 to 95 pitches, that means he's probably going to get us 6 innings or so. That means the strikeouts will be there. We have a good night for Yanoa. Again, risky. There's not a lot of safe plays. The next play is probably your safest one on the slate, which means Kyle Hendricks at $8,100 at home against Colorado is going to be the chalk of the chalk that you can possibly find on this entire slate. And I think it's good chalk. I do. But again, if you want to be different, smaller slate, you play the Yanoas, you play the Manoas, you play the Lance Lynns. Hendricks is a great play. If you're playing cash, you play Kyle Hendricks. That's the brass of it all. He got 6 innings, 1 earned, 3K against Cincinnati. Got beat up by Milwaukee. Prior to that, 2 more quality starts. So he's a pretty darn good quality start machine. Now you get a Rockies team outside of Coors Field. You know how the story goes there. Not too good. Striking out 21% of the time. Let's just make a quick switch here against right-handed pitchers on the road in the month of August. Colorado striking out 27%, almost a 7% increase in strikeout rate for Colorado on the road against righties, hitting 200 with a .059 ISO and a 49 WRC plus outside of Coors. You take Coors Field away, and the Rockies offense just goes bloop. So Kyle Hendricks can be massive chalk, most likely good chalk, $8,100, tough to avoid. Your other pitcher of choice, again, it's risky. Like I said, Hendricks is kind of the only quote-unquote safe option we got. The rest of them, this one's intriguing too. Daniel Lynch, 65 hundo at the Houston Astros. We talked about it his last time out. People thought I was crazy. 7 innings, 4 hits, 105 Ks. Got you 23.6 points. He had 11.7, 23.1, 6.1, 27. He's got you 23 or more points in 3 of his last 5 starts. Can he get lit up? Oh, yes. But his last start was against Houston. Sometimes people will say facing back-to-back's never good. Small slate. We got to plant our flag somewhere. It is a Houston Astros team striking out 20% of the time in the month of August versus lefties, hitting 234 with a 112 WRC plus. Very good offense. We know this. It's been established. But Lynch, if Lynch can go give us 6 innings, give us a quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs, 5 Ks, we'll take it on this slate in a freaking heartbeat. So Daniel Lynch at 6,500, I'm on board with. So it's really a heavy GPP slate for me. You can play cash if you want. If you're playing cash, you're playing Kyle Hendricks. And I guess you could go with you'll probably go with Zach Greinke. That's who everyone's going to go with. I just don't use Greinke. And I think Kansas City's, because I think Greinke will be chalky, and we'll get to Kansas City bats. I think they're a very good contrarian play. They hit the ball really well in Chicago. They had those tendencies to do things. We'll talk about some of those guys as the podcast goes on. And he has faced Kansas City, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 0 strikeouts for 8.5 points his last time out. Greinke will be popular. Your cash game bills that you'll see from every website that you have to pay for on the face of the planet, Greinke, Hendricks. That'll be your builds. Not for me. So Hendricks is where you can go in cash. And if you want to mix it up with the Lynch, with the Yanoa, or a Lynn even, I'm cool with that. But for me, it's tournaments. You got Lynn, Manoah, Yanoa. All very risky, all upside plays. Yanoa is my favorite price-wise. All really strong plays. Daniel Lynch, another good tournament play. Kyle Hendricks, a safe play. So I like all those. Again, we'll check ownership as the day goes on Monday. All right, the bats on this slate. Catcher's position, Yasmani Grandal's coming back soon, so keep an eye on that one. So is Wilson Contreras, apparently. But you got Salvio Perez at 49 versus Greinke. If you are fading Greinke, Salvi's worth the pay-up spots. It's pricey, but he's worth it. Otherwise, you save some cash. You drop down to the 3K range. You got guys like Jonathan Stallings going up against Mejia at $3,700. Mejia making the start for Arizona. We can definitely have some fun on that one. Like Mejia is not even on the actual DraftKings price page right now, but he is scheduled to pitch for the D-backs. So we can definitely attack Mejia quite a bit in this one. Other cheap options for you, though, Yan Gomes versus Marco Gonzalez at 33. Don't hate it for some savings in that matchup. And then maybe Higashioka gets to start for New York, 27 versus Ynoa. I like Ynoa, but you got to take some chances. Like Martin Maldonado at 24 versus Lynch. If you want to go there, you can. I can see those as options as well. The best thing I would suggest is see what lineups come out and differentiate there. Maybe you get you get a Jackson or a William Contreras going up against Jomo. That could be a nice value for you with Atlanta as well. Catcher, I'm pretty much either paying for Salvi or I'm just waiting until lineups come out and punting the position. That's where I'm at right at this point in time. First base position now, it gets fun. You got Vladito, but like Jose Abreu, good tournament play in that matchup. I love how Will Craig is still a Pirate at $5,400 when Will Craig is playing in like Japan, I believe, or Korea, one of the two. He's either in the KBO or he's in the Japan Nippon League. Like that's hilarious to me. But Yuli Gurriel at 51, loves hitting him some lefty. But Colin Moran at 4K, nice little value. Pittsburgh is going to be a very, very intriguing play on this slate versus Mejia. So Colin Moran at 4,000 is not a bad look. Some cheaper options here. Ty France going up against Blackburn for Oakland at 3,700. Seattle could be in play because Blackburn's a guy you could definitely take advantage of as well. Rizzo's down to 35 for the Yanks. If you are fading, that's a good price point at 35. Same with Luke Voigt at 31. Problem is both will not play because no DH. So it's likely going to be Rizzo versus the right-handed pitcher. So Rizzo at 35, you got that going for you. Frank Schwindel at 27 versus Senzatella. Outstanding value. Schwindel's been raking. Had a little quiet weekend. Kind of cooled down a little bit, but really good spot there for Schwindel. And also Christian Walker, $2,300. It was Coors Field. I get it. He kind of started heating up, hit a bomb, I believe, on Sunday. Goes up against Will Crowe at 2,300. So you can get some nice discounted players with guys like Pittsburgh and Arizona and a few others. Second base position, Ozzie Albies versus a lefty. Love it at 59. You can go Altuve if you want. I just pay a little more for Albies, or save $1,200 and pay $4,700 for the Arizona leadoff batter, Josh Rojas, who is swinging just a ridiculously good bat even before he went to Coors Field. So Rojas at 47 is not a bad look. Whit Merrifield is still too cheap at 43. That's a great value, especially in cash games. So Whit Merrifield at 43. Josh Harrison's only $3,400 versus Marco Gonzalez. I'm a Marco Gonzalez fan. I just don't think he's in play for me on this slate. We'll see. Maybe Oakland throws out a dud lineup and you go from there, but I don't think they will as they're competing for some postseason action. So Josh Harrison at 34, not a bad play as well. And then other than that, not too much. Third base position, Austin Riley, $5,200. He just continues to crush it. So you can definitely go there. You can go, your Chapmans, your Wisdoms, if you're stacking those teams, yes. Otherwise, you pay up for Riley or you come on down to some cheaper options like Kyle Seager's only 38. That's a great price tag. He was in the mid fours, it seemed like, for the last week or so. So getting him at 38 for Blackburn is a really, really nice price. You can let him as Diaz at 36 for Lynch, Josh Harrison at 34, both nice values. I think Seager at 38 is a very nice discount at the position. And then maybe Matt Duffy still hits cleanup for Chicago. That's 2,600 if you need to go there. Hunter Dozier's been swinging it really well. He's $2,100, third base outfit eligible. I was looking him up for some season-long content I've been working on, but he's hitting over 300 the last 10 games, averaging about 8 points per game over the last 10. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 10 games. He's swinging a pretty good bat, not crushing it all the time, but for $2,100, very productive in this lineup. This is a night where you can leave some cash on the table, it looks like. Shortstop, you got Swanson. That's fine. Trevor Story's intriguing, but not running there. You got like Bichette versus Lynn, Correa versus Lynch. So you have to kind of pick your poison where you want to go on those ones or save some cash. Kevin Newman at 36. I don't mind versus Mejia. Newman went deep again on Sunday. JP Crawford at 34. Again, lots of cheap plays. Nicky Lopez really swinging well. Stole 5 bags last week, which is impressive. He's hitting 361 over his last 10 games. I've been using him a lot. He had 21 today. 23 yesterday, goose egg on Friday, but then 16, 21, 3, 24. So he has 16 or more points in 5 of his last 7 games. Super productive, $2,800 for Nicky Lopez if you're stacking. And he hits second, usually hits behind Witt, right in front of Salvi. So you can have some fun with that as well. And then, maybe Tyler Wade at 23 if you really need to, or Velasquez. I've been using him. He went deep on Saturday for his first career home run. He's 2K for the Yanks versus as well. Outfield position, Starling Marte at 57 is a phenomenal play tonight. He keeps stealing bags. He just punches all the stat sheets up for you. Yordan Alvarez went deep on Sunday off a lefty, so don't let that scare you off either. Teoscar Hernandez has been ice cold, but I just want to keep using him. But Josh Rojas at 47, Ketel Marte at 46. Really good looks against Crow. You got Jorge Soler if you're being contrarian versus Montgomery. Brian Reynolds is only 43 versus Mejia. I like that one quite a bit as well. Yeah, Adam Duvall for being contrarian versus Montgomery at 42. Lou Bob's up to 4K. That price is coming. I told you guys last week that price will rise. So get on it while you can. It's slowly creeping, but it's creeping. So get there while you can. Rafael Ortega is only 37 versus Sensatella. Not a bad look. Dalton Varsho. I should have mentioned him at catcher. He's catcher outfield eligible. He's $3,400. That's not a bad one. If you don't want to pay it for Salvi, Varsho is crushing everything right now. So him at 34 is not a bad catcher play for sure. You could go there as a decent play without completely punting the position. Gregory Polanco's 31. He was fun for a tournament play for a while, but he's getting really bad right now. If you want to, it's a small slate, so if you want to get frisky, I'm not going to tell you no. I'd rather go Ben Gamble for 27. But one of the better values on this slate is Andrew Benintendi at $2,500. Another guy I've been paying attention to. He's hitting 350 over his last 10 games. Double-digit points in 3 straight games. He's in 4 of his 6. He's got straight games. He has an 8-game hitting streak going into Monday night versus Greinke. So really good spot at 2,500, hitting 5th for the Kansas City Royals. That's not a bad price point at all. And then other than that, Hunter Dozier, mentioned him at 21. Kalinic's only 21 versus Blackburn. Sam Hilliard cracks the Colorado lineup. He's 2K. He's been sitting a ton and been super, super annoying in that respect. But hey, he might get the start versus Hendricks. I'd rather pay 2,100 for some of those other guys because I like Hendricks, but I get it. So that's where we're at on the bats on this slate. So recapping your pitching, Lance Lynn, Alex Manoah, Huascar Yanoa, great tournament plays. They're all risky, but all great upside. I go Yanoa as my top play, followed by Lance Lynn, followed by Alec Manoah. And then Daniel Lynch is a great tournament play at 65 as well. Your cookie cutter cash play of the night, Kyle Hendricks at $8,100. He's a great play, really is. If you want to pay for him, you can, but everyone is going to pay for Kyle Hendricks. It feels like that day slate, like Thursday, where Tyler Mahle was 80% owned. Kyle Hendricks has a good chance of being like 80% owned. Very good chance it's going to happen. All right, okay, your stacks on this slate, this Arizona-Pittsburgh game could be one to just pop off with Mejia and Crow on the bump. Arizona got Rojas, Marte, Varsho, and then see what else pops up in that lineup. I like that Rojas, Marte for sure. Some Varsho in there. And Christian Walker heating up. And then Walker's 23, Varsho's 34. I think like 47 and 46 for the other two. Not too bad. Pittsburgh could be fun. You got Ben Gamble's cheap. I mentioned Kevin Newman's cheap. You got Colin Moran at 4K. Not a bad first baseman either. You could go Chicago or Toronto. Basically, some of these kind of, the Lens, the Manoahs, the Huascars, see where the chalk is there. Those would be great spots to fade because they're facing really good offenses, like we talked about. It's not like you're just taking a gamble on a cheap player. You're taking a gamble on a good pitcher versus a really good offense. So that's what makes it kind of intriguing to adapt to. So keep that in mind. Atlanta versus Jomo, like that one quite a bit. Jomo's okay, but can give up the long ball in bunches at times too. So the red hot Austin Riley, you got Ozzie Albies, Swanson and company. I like those. Obviously, Duvall and Soler are great in those matchups, and Heredia is always a good discount. But I'd start with Albies and Riley, build around that. Colorado, Chicago, the Cubs could be a nice value stack going up against Sensatella. You got Schwindel, Ortega, and then maybe a Duffy or something, but Schwindel and Ortega for sure. Kansas City is one of my favorite contrarian stacks on this slate because everyone is going to use Hendricks and everyone's going to use Greinke, especially in cash. Those will be your bins. So give me Kansas City. Give me Witt, Salvi, Nicky Lopez, Benintendi. Start with those if you want. Then you can mix up around there too. And then last but not least, you got Seattle and Oakland. Probably just fading that game altogether unless you want some Seattle bats versus Blackburn. Like Kyle Seager was a really good price at $3,800. Stuff along those lines. So a lot of it's going to be ownership dependent on this slate, but also lineups. Guys might get days off. We're seeing that this time of year, Mondays and traveling days and stuff. A lot of weird days off. So keep an eye on all that good stuff. But should be a fun 6-game slate. It's going to be really interesting, as there's a lot of good teams facing our good pitchers we'd usually like to target. So you can be really contrarian, and you can definitely leave some money on the table unless you're going to go to get a Blue Jay stack or an Astros stack or some of the other ones. You can leave money on the table tonight. So keep that in mind as well. But that'll do it. I'm on Twitter at BDentric. If you have any questions, Fantasy DJ and Slack chat, hit us up there. If you get a rate and review on iTunes for MLB DFS Quick Hits, I'd appreciate it. Same with Benched with Bubba for your season-long content review would be awesome as well. Go check out Prize Picks. DFS makes prop bets. Lots of fun there. Use promo code BUBBA, BUBBA, for a first-time deposit match up to $100. And if you want to see my written content at RotoBaller.com on Monday, it is the Premium Values articles. If you'd like to check that out, become a RotoBaller Premium member. Use promo code BUBBA for 10% off the packages of your choice. But that'll do it, everybody. Good luck. I'll be back with you guys on Tuesday. This was MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Monday, August 23rd edition.